Hello and welcome to Dyad.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on leader-member exchange theory. Now let's start with what is the leader-member exchange theory. The leader-member exchange theory and studies pay attention to the quality of the dyadic bonds managers and their direct junior share. A big assumption here is that leaders distinguish among juniors according to their ability when bonds are formed between them. The leaders put themselves into two groups of followers. These are in-group and out-group. In in-group, members get more attention, more tasks and more benefits. By comparison, out-group members do not find themselves in the leader's close group. Less attention is given to them and they are rewarded less. They have to answer to official policies and rules. The LMX theory believes that managers treat different juniors differently. Moving on to a further explanation of the theory. The LMX theory stresses on dyad. Dyad is a bond between a leader and every single junior considered individually. It is not the relationship between the leader and everyone else as a group. Every bond thus varies in terms of quality. Therefore, the same leader can have a not too strong bond with some juniors but strong bond with others. Now let's look at the in-group members. People in these groups can be a part of making decisions. They get to do more tasks. They have the privilege of being lax in their task. Thus, the manager and juniors can decide on the subordinate's task through a system of unofficial exchanges. As a result, a member of this inner circle gets promoted to an unofficial trusted aide position. Juniors return the favor by spending more time and hard work. They have to shoulder more responsibility and concentrate more on the firm's growth. Let's look at the out-group. People in the outer circle are managed according to the limits of the official laws in the firm. Authority is established by the absolute obligation between the worker and firm. Managers have to aid with assistance, deliberation and support that is a requirement for them. They do not cross these bounds, however. As a result, managers only do what they are obliged to do. They are leaders for hire. They only do what they have to because the job needs them to do so. In return, people in the outer circle do only what is required of them and not much else. Moving on to the managerial implications of LMX theory. This theory implies that the relationship quality between the manager and every member of the circle has implications on the job. The research that backs LMX shows that juniors in the inner circle group are more productive than those who are not. They are happier with their jobs and feel more encouraged. Leaders put in more resources behind those they think will do well. In other words, the people who are part of the inner circle, the treatment they receive is different. That is why the recommendation is that managers build as many bonds with juniors as possible. The inner circle should be big and the outer one small. Moving on to the background of the LMX theory. The leader-member exchange has grown from a vertical dyad linkage theory. William Hague, John Green and Fred Dancio wrote a famous article about the unique leadership theory. This demonstrates the top-down dyadic relation among managers and juniors. Moreover, Scandura and Grain in 1987 pointed out that LMX has three phases. These are role-taking, role-making and the role routinization phase. Let's look at each of these phases briefly now. The process for the LMX theory. First, role-taking. This phase begins when there's a new joinee in the team. The managers measure their skills. Second, role-making. In this phase, the person gets a role to fill. The person is slotted in one of the two groups, the in-group and the out-group. As far as this phase is concerned, the leader puts people into one or the other subconsciously. A leader's goal should be to optimize results. They must build as much faith in every worker as those in the in-group. And finally, routinization. Building a routine is the final stage. Here standards, expectations and schedules are created. Parties get a better understanding of how the other functions. Continuous interaction among the joinees and the managers form a pattern. Now let's look at the strengths of the LMX theory. LMX theory is practical in its methodology. The theory as a concept of leadership is unique. It differs from other theories because it stresses on the details of the bonds that managers and juniors share. The importance of communication as a part of leadership is paid attention to. And finally, criticism of the leader-member exchange theory. The LMX theory cannot describe the details of the formation of high-quality interactions. And finally, the LMX theory does not depend on the ideas of justice and being fair. Some people receive more benefits than others. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on the leader-member exchange theory. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video.
Thank you and see you in the next video.